Hi everyone. Alright, graphing rational functions. Alright, the third example. I got x squared minus 4 over x squared minus x minus 6. So the first thing I'm going to go for is the domain. So when I put the domain, I'm going to set the denominator x squared minus x minus 6 equal to 0. And I'm looking at, I think, x minus 3 times x plus 2. X minus 3 equals 0, or x plus 2 equals 0. Either one makes that 0. So x equals 3. That is one of the zeros of the denominator. X equals negative 2. And that is the other one. Now, so when I write the final answer for the domain, okay, I go from negative infinity to negative 2. And then I go from negative 2 to 3, non-inclusive, and 3 is also not included, to infinity. Okay. Now, let's see if we can simplify. And I think we can. So simplify h of x, and I'm going to write it as x plus 2 times x minus 2 over x minus 3 times x plus 2. Alright, so we are going to simplify by crossing out those x plus 2's. So my simplified version, and then when I do all the things that we're going to do from now on, I'm going to use x minus 2 over x minus 3. Now, here's the other issue I want to discuss with you. We are simplifying h of x, and this is an example that will have a hole. We had 2 zeros in the denominator. The negative 2 actually just kind of cancels out. When you look at the simplified version, that's not going to be a vertical asymptote, but that is going to be a hole. So we're going to have a hole in this at negative 2, and then if I find h of negative 2 from the simplified version, it's negative 2 minus 2 over negative 2 minus 3. And that's negative 4 over negative 5, which is 4/5. So negative 2 and 4/5. There's going to be a hole in the graph right there. It's not an asymptote. There's just going to be a hole in the graph. We can't have that because in the original, you'd have 0 over 0. Okay, so this is the first time we've had this scenario come into play. All right, the Y-intercept. We're going to find the Y-intercept by taking h of 0. So that is 0 minus 2 over 0 minus 3, which is negative 2 over negative 3. So the y-intercept is 2/3. Vertical asymptotes. Okay, we've already solved, and it's this one. So x equals 3 is a vertical asymptote. Now the zeros of this would be the simplified numerator, not the original numerator. The simplified numerator for zeros, we set the numerator equal to 0. So x minus 2 equals 0, which implies that one of the zeros is at x equals 2. Okay, horizontal asymptotes. Now for the horizontal asymptote, we are talking about n equaling m. And let's use the simplified function here. And so y is equal to the lead coefficient, 1x over 1x, the 1 over 1, so y equals 1 is our horizontal asymptote. Okay, now it's draw time.
Yeah, so a couple things.
Okay, let's put all our values that we've just found here. I like to start with the vertical asymptotes. Where are those? Just one. We have one at x equals 3. All right. I'm going to draw this vertical asymptote. Okay. Zeros. We got 1 at x equals 2. This is a 0. Horizontal asymptote, y equals 1. Let's go ahead and draw that in here. Y-intercept is 2/3. It's just like right around there. There's 1, so 2/3. And okay, so we kind of know what's going on here. I am curious about between 2 and 3. I'm wondering if it'll be negative and come down here, and that we'll be doing this here. Oh, one important part. We do have a hole in this one. -2 and 4/5. So we got a hole right here, right below the asymptote there. Alright, so let's go ahead. We've got enough information here. At 2.5, I'm going to go ahead and calculate h of 2.5. And that is 2.5 minus 2 over 2.5 minus 3, which is 0.5 over 2.5 minus 3, negative 0.5, which is negative 1. So at 2.5, we're down here at negative 1. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw this curve. It's close. It comes to this hole. That hole needs to be seen. And then we go through our y-intercept. We come down, we're curving down to the 2. Our x-intercept, we curve down to this value, 2.5, negative 1 that we just found. And we go and approach this vertical asymptote at x equals 3. Alright, so we've got half of the curve drawn. Let's get the other part drawn. Oh my goodness. Did you see any of that? I didn't have it framed, but just to run through it real quick. -2 and 4.5 is the, or 4/5, sorry, is the whole. Put my y-intercept there at 2/3, the x-intercept at 2, the 0. We did find this value, 2.5, negative 1, just to confirm or affirm, one or the other. Now at 4, I'm just curious about h of 4. And just to get a point to draw, so I'm doing 4 minus 2 over 4 minus 3. which is 2 over 1. So at 4, 2, we're here. Okay, we do not go below this line then. It tells me that this has got to be close to the asymptote up here, and then we're close to the asymptote over here on the right. Okay, I would encourage you to look at that on your calculators again. Put that in parentheses, divide, and put that in parentheses when you hit your y equals, and just look to see that that's what it looks like. The thing you will not see, I don't think we have a grapher that shows this hole very well, and that's something I do want to see in your work if that comes into play. And speaking of which, you do have an assignment. It is page 323, and I'm only assigning 3. You can judge by the length of time of each video why I'm doing that, but just number 19, number 26, and number 34. And that will be due between the notes and this. That's due Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Thursday, what is that? That is 4/23, I believe. Yes. All right. Take care.